Hey friends, it's Nancy, and I am back with another 3 in 30 minutes. So this time the letter is L, and I am using L to stand for Lovely Lacy Layers. So I have not tested any of these projects yet, so I have no evidence that this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. I've got my sewing machine tilted up on this telephone book. I forgot what it was called because we don't use these anymore, right? Just so that you can get a better look at the bed here. So that will increase my level of difficulty, but that's okay. I can get used to this, right? Besides, I got a full 30 minutes to do these 3 projects. So the first project I'm going to do is inspired by Wendy at Wendy's Journal Adventure, and I've got a strip of fabric, an inch and a quarter wide, I guess. This is a Tim Holtz fabric, and it's called Vintage Receipts, I believe. So it's neutral, but at the same time it has some fun images and words and fonts and a tiny bit of color here and there. There's a little bit of pink, a little bit of green. So what I'm going to make is layered lace page tabs. So I'm going to make mine slightly different than Wendy did, because what I want to happen is I want to be able to wrap the fabric around the edge of the page. So I'm going to focus my sewing on this side. And the other thing is I'm going to use an ecru colored thread so that it doesn't show. So when I do go to attach my tabs to the page, I can go over it with a dark, maybe a black or a darker brown or a gold colored thread, and then the thread will show, and fasten it to the page. So that's why I'm doing it slightly different than the way Wendy did it, but I will link her video below. So I went through my pile of, I've got a little cigar box over there full of snippets of lace, nothing very big. So I am going to try to make a few. So while I will concede that I did some prep work, I have not practiced this, so let's give it a shot. So starting now. So the way Wendy showed it in her video was she just layered up about 4 different kinds of lace, and she didn't want anything, maybe over 3 inches. So I'm going to start with this flatter lace. Here's another little scrap I'm going to put this way, I guess, and maybe not. Maybe I'll do it like that and like that, and got a little bit of this crochet lace here, and this is from that little dress I bought last week. I'm just going to shove that underneath. Alright, I'm not happy. This all feels too bulky, so I'm going to cut some of this off. And I'll put that there. Put that there. And put that there. What do you think? Okay. I'm not going to glue anything down. I'm just going to lift it up, put it underneath the feed dog, and I'll put that in to hold it. I'm just adjusting my thread, or sorry, my stitch length. So I'm just, this is a bead reamer. If I had a stiletto handy, I would use a stiletto. So what I'm using this for is just sort of straighten out this piece and holding it so I don't get my fingers under there. And then I'm just going to go a little ways beyond that and try to remember how I did this. Okay, so I used a little bit of this, and I used some of that, and I mean, they don't have to be identical, but you know me. You know I'm kind of odd that way. So I hope everybody's having a good week so far. So far, so good for me. Went to the dentist yesterday and all is well. No cavities, Ma. Okay, that's 2. I'm just going to cut off the back one so I have a better look at what the heck I did. Because I do want these ones to look similar. They don't have to be exact, but I want them to look similar. Okay, so I did something like that. And then I did a piece of this. And that. Oh, I wanted to give you some information. The nostalgia show that I went to in Woodstock on the weekend, they're having another show. It's pretty much the exact same vendors. On February the 3rd, but it's in Ancaster, which is very close to Hamilton. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word Hamilton. I've been to that one once, and I can't remember whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. So, if that's something you were keen to check out, you can mark your calendars for Ancaster, Ontario on February 3rd. And oh, this thing. And a little piece of this. My husband made me an omelet for dinner tonight. Don't you just love having breakfast for dinner? It's so awesome. I made 4 of these, didn't I? Oh, I guess they're all here. I'll make some more after my video because I only have 30 minutes. But I'll make a few more of these and use up some of these scraps. So I have made 4, and what it'll look like on a page. So it will be on a page like that. And I'll just wrap that fabric around the other side and then do another stitch, but probably with a complementary color, or contrasting color, I mean, is what I wanted to say. So that's how those will look. The next thing I wanted to do is something that I've been playing with for a while. I want to make a lace covered journal. So I thought I would practice. So here's what I've done. I've got a piece of muslin, and I just sort of cut it out roughly, and then I ironed down the top and the bottom so that it's the exact same width as this book. So this was a little, like a little gift book. It was about cats. So it's like, I don't know, 3.5 inches tall, 3.25 inches tall by maybe 2.5 inches across. Reinforced the spine. I took the old spine out so that I could widen it, so it'll be like that instead of the narrow spine. So what my intentions are is I'm going to lay down some lace, stitch it down, and then adhere the muslin cover to this book cover. Okay, so I did do some prep work again. So I've got some lace here, and I'm just going to poke up over the top a little smidgy bit. This one I cut too long, but that's okay. So that one I'm going to put next. And this one I'm going to have the crochet pointing down. So, oh, I gotta flip this out so I'm not catching the wraparound layer. So I think I'll switch out to a different, just a straight stitch, and I'll lengthen my stitch a bit. So I've lengthened it to 2.8. Okay, here's the first stitch. Then the next one I'm going to just capture the top area of this row of lace. And then turn her around. And oh shoot. Oh, no, I'm good. I thought I'd forgotten to flip out the underfolded part, but I'm good. But I'll remember to do it now. So that's that bit done. Now, what I want to do is I've got a little photo here. This was actually a postcard, and there was 2 pictures, and this was a group of 3 people. It looks like they're picking wildflowers. So I'm going to put them on the center, and I'm going to place a piece of netting over top. And the netting is because it's the photograph itself is just an embellishment. It's not important who the people are in the picture. It's just, I just want to, you know, make it very shabby. So, oh, there's something wrong with my thread. Ah. You know what I'm thinking? I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, a little bit of Fabri-Tac on there to hold it down so it doesn't get unsquare, if that makes any sense. I'm just putting the glue in the center so I won't get my machine all gummed up. I'm just going to check the camera and make sure. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Okay. Let's put this piece of net in place again and ask the machine to pretty please I need to go one more stitch down. And okay. So I will pull the threads to the back. I've got my lamps all angled weird here just to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, there's that done. And on this side, I'm just going to cut some of this netting off because it really was just a scrap. I just want to make it look a little neater, not too neat. I like this netting. It's a little vintage. Kind of reminds me of honeycomb. Okay, now what did I do with the little book? Oh, there it is. So the idea is, and I'm not going to do it right now because I want to prepare my signatures first, but I will be gluing down this fabric, lacy fabric cover, and that's more or less what my intentions were for the end product. So I know it doesn't look like much right now, but I'll share a picture on Instagram, or I'll show it in my next video once it's completely done. I'm really happy with how that turned out. All right, the next project we're going to do, and I have shown this before, so you're gonna go, Nancy, that's cheating. Yeah, so I cheat. Oh, and I got this beautiful vintage satin ribbon that I'm going to use as a closure on that. I'll probably put it on the inside, and then it'll just be. And that's not seam binding. That's satin ribbon. Okay, so this is pieces of vintage linen that I've adhered to heat and bond paper to make it stiff. I'm just trying to decide which one I want to go with. And so I'm going to make some tags. So these ones are all white with little applique flowers. These ones are cross-stitch rosebuds, and they've been coffee dyed. So I got 3 of those and a whole bunch of these ones. So I'm going to put those aside. Okay, so let's do this blue one. I have a hankering to do this blue one. So I want to add some lace to this. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to... Ooh! Got some blue satin... No, blue silk ribbon that I can use on there too. That's pretty. So hang on to that. So I don't want it to be too grungy because I have not dyed this at all. So we'll cut off a hunk of that. And what else have I got here? Maybe I'll add that applique. I'm not sure that you can see what I'm doing. No, you can't, so let me move it up. Okay, so I'm just kind of testing out some layers of lace to use. So I've got this little scrap here, and I'm putting over a little bit of this eyelet lace, some of this white machine made lace, and I've got an applique. So that could be nice like that. But I'm going to go one layer at a time. And I'm going to sew right through the paper that's on the back of the heat and bond. That's fine. Where's my stiletto? Yeah, I did this project before when I did a collaboration project with Gail Agostinelli, Diane H., and Carol Laws. This was, I think it was in March, so it's getting on nearly a year. This one's got threads all running through it, which I suppose is fine. Alright, make sure I got right side up. Kind of hard to tell. And lastly, I'm going to add this one. But you know what? Before I do that, I think I'm going to switch out the threads. At least the top thread to white. I won't do the bobbin just to save time. We still got time. We're doing good. We still got just about 6 minutes. Okay, now this applique, I think I'm going to give it a couple of dots of glue just to sort of hold it in place. Trimming off that side so that I don't have any issues trimming later. I'm just putting a couple of dots of the Fabri-Tac on some of the bigger parts. Just to sort of anchor it. Not so much hold it as to, but to anchor. I'm going to let it overhang just a smidgy. And let's give it a shot. I think I'll shorten up that stitch length. And just go slowly. Keep putting this down. Whoop! Feed dogs. I have to put down the foot. Okay. Okay, we're doing all right. Sorry, I'm concentrating, so I'm not. I know if I take my mind off this for a second, I'm done for. all the way down onto this piece. Turn around. Gorgeous. Okay. Just want to tie a knot, people. Come on. Alrighty, come on. Alright, so the next thing I'm doing is just trimming this down. And the last part that I would do is peel off this paper and iron this heat and bond to a piece of file folder or cardstock. So that is, oh, that's 30 minutes. So that is our 3 in 30 minutes. So what we did was, we mostly completed this. It just needs to be put cardstock or a piece of file folder to, you know, make it a tag. And we did the cover of this miniature junk journal made from a book. And we made some layers of lovely lace for page tabs. So I hope you thought that was interesting and worth your while watching. But I want to talk about what my next project is going to be. So recently I read a book called The Jane Austen Project. There goes my thread. So it's a novel where these two time travelers from the future go back in time to get Jane Austen's letters and the copy of her final manuscript and try to save her life. And I thought it was really interesting. I am a Jane Austen fan. I love the language. The dialogue is just great. I mean, I'm not saying anything that would be new and startling. I'm by no means an English scholar, but I do enjoy reading. Been a reader all my life, and Jane Austen is one of my faves. And on Sunday started on Masterpiece Theater on PBS a miniseries called Sanditon, which is based on an incomplete manuscript of Jane Austen's. So my next journal is going to be Jane Austen. So I've pulled together a few things. I'll just kind of go through it with you, see what things we might use. So this is some images from a book about Jane Austen, I think. So this is a painting, a ball. This is a picture of the pump room and bath. Here's an image of Jane Austen. What else have I got here? Oh, Austin Country. Maybe that's what the name of the book was Austin Country. Got another picture of Jane Austen there. Oh, and I've got, here's the book cover I want to use, and it was the complete illustrated novels of Jane Austen. I have a Pride and Prejudice paper dolls. So it has all the beautiful outfits, Regency era dresses. Just some other bits and bobs. So these looked very Austen to me. Not sure where they came from. Maybe it was a book. These might be from the book because it was an illustrated book. It's from a book about the meaning of flowers. So here's a few magazine pages. This might be Daphne's diary. So there's lots of images there. Yeah, it's Daphne's diary. Here's some pages from a book about costumes, historical costumes. This is getting a little later. And here's some pages from the book. These ones are white. These ones are tea-dyed. So I think I've got a lot to get me started. I think I would like to use, oops, my page tabs in there. I think that would be good. Maybe that's why I'll make a few more, because I think I'm going to have far more than 4 signatures in there. Yeah, so that's my next on the project list, and hopefully I'll get some time to work on that tomorrow. I don't think I have anything on the agenda, so I'll just pop this back over here. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, share the video, hit subscribe so that you can see when my next videos are posted. Oh, I did forget to mention that I am going to be listing these milk tickets on my Etsy. Maybe tonight, or maybe not tonight. Today or tomorrow. It is getting close to my bedtime. The one thing that I wanted to say is I want to keep these affordable for everyone. So what I think I'm going to have to do is fold along the perforation so that it fits in a regular mailing envelope. It's too long to go in a business envelope. And the next size up would make it oversized, which would be additional postage. So it's going to be along the perforation. I'm not going to fold but like the tickets in any way, just along the perforation. So when you receive it, if you wanted to use it in whole, you certainly could. But I hope you understand why I've decided to do it that way. And of course, if you don't want yours folded, send me a note and I can give you a quote on what the additional postage will be. All right, so take care, have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.